Hello everybody, welcome back to the Forest Job. With only 8 game days remaining in the Premier League season, we sit 8th behind Chelsea and Manchester United, who host us today at Old Trafford in the Premier League. Before we get to that though, we've got some highlights for you from the one game that we played off camera, and that's Nottingham Forest versus Burnley. Okay, and with those highlights out of the way, we will get straight in to the Manchester United game today. Before we do that, though, just a quick reminder that if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it, and if you're new, subscribe and click the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. Right, now that I've said all of that bump, we can get into the good stuff, and that is the game against Manchester United. A few things that we're going to have to put right because I've been experimenting slightly with the tactics, and although most of it is still going to be the same, one of the things I do have to do is put the wing rotation and centering targets back on. Something that I've taken off in experimentation hasn't really worked out particularly, so I've decided to put them back on. As far as attacking instructions, I'm going to try going with attacking area wide, just so that we can see a little bit more play out on the wings. I do tend to move the ball out to the wing a little bit more, and hopefully my thinking is that by playing heavily down the wing, we might be able to open up areas of the pitch in the middle by stretching them. Maintain formation and support range are the same. Defensively, we're going to play reasonably deep. I'm really tempted to switch containment to wide and make us slightly less compact. Maybe we'll do that in the game, depending on how we're doing defensively. Interestingly, I have hit upon a wonderful, wonderful player for defensive midfield. And we're going to have a look at him now, and you'll know who he is because we did talk about him during the transfer uh, roundup, and that is Hoogma, the Dutch centre-back that we bought as a long-term player for the centre of our defence. And you look at him and you think to yourself, well, he's not registered as being a defensive midfielder. He can't play there. And then you look at his stats and you realise, actually, he could, He's very, very good on the ball. 78 low and lofted pass. He's got good heading. He's got very good speed, which would make him an excellent mobile midfielder. Good jumping and heading, which means that he's always able to win the ball in the middle of the park. His physical contact and balance are excellent. Great stamina, which is needed for a midfielder because they are running up and down the pitch all day after all. Offensively, not the most aware, but defensively, very, very aware indeed. And the ball winning is a big one for me. His aggression could get him into trouble, but so far he's done pretty well for us in the middle of the park, despite being a position that he's not particularly familiar with. He is actually showing himself to be a good player in those areas. That being the case, he's actually going to supplant Yates as the player to sit on the bench there. I'm also tempted, given the fact that he can cover centre back, to actually take McKenna off the bench in place of another midfielder, and that midfielder will probably be Kabai for the time being. So Kabai comes onto the bench there, and the front three we're going to keep the same: Wilson and Centurion either side of Hernandez. However, Harrington has been doing great for me in attacking midfield, so we're going to go with Harrington in attacking midfield. He's just a little bit more physical than Hadji. I will be working Hadji back into the plans before too long. As That's pretty much it. I'm not going to make any other massive changes. Newell comes back in after being replaced for the last match by Samba, who's still getting games for us. Hloshek is on the bench and ready to come on when needed, but I'm pretty happy for this formation to go with this formation to begin with, and we could switch to the 4-4-2. The 4-4-2 worked really well for us, especially with Harrington coming up and playing as the support striker. He seems to really suit that role. Despite the fact that we've played him primarily as an attacking midfielder, he's got good pace and strength, and that allows him to play as a big man supporting the striker up front. I was massively surprised as well to see Nyangbo score for us, and unfortunately I've completely forgotten to put him back on the bench again. So it looks as though he misses out, despite the fact that he did get us all 3 points last time. My apologies to the Nyangbo family. I will bring him back into the team before too long. So here we are at Old Trafford. Manchester United looking the more likely to be kicking off here. And well, we're just going to hope that we don't embarrass ourselves first and foremost. That's always the primary objective when coming to a place like Old Trafford. Centurion looking to win the ball immediately, can't quite manage it. And well, they've got a shot off within 2.5 minutes, and I don't know if that's a good sign. I don't think it is, honestly. Of course, we did have joy against the big guns, playing with a slightly more aggressive defensive setup in the previous season. We were actually going with full-on, just front-footed defending, pushing them out wide and making space for ourselves that way. So we could see ourselves returning to a similar tactic before too long, because I feel like I'm not really getting the best out of my defenders when we're playing on the back foot like that, just letting them come onto us. Most teams seem to be able to play around us quite easily when we're playing, especially a deep defensive line, and we're playing a cautious defensive style. So it's not a bad little ball there. Arcas has just lost it, but manages to get back hold. Gets it again in the middle of the park into Harrington. There's a ball there. No, I was going to say there's a ball there for Hernandez if he can find it. Unfortunately, he couldn't quite manage it. Worrell read the intent there of the midfielder and did well to get his foot in the way. Now here comes Centurion. Hernandez, he's got the pace to outstrip Milenkovic, I think. Has to take it very wide and ends up being fouled off the ball. It's going to be a corner kick rather than a free kick. Oh, Arcas with the fake. And Henderson gathers the ball, which was just looping up slightly after taking a deflection. See, this is the kind of defending that we actually, strangely enough, feel more comfortable employing, is this kind of front-footed defending, although we can find ourselves caught between two stools occasionally when doing so. But we escape this time. Centurion brings the ball forward. He's got a runner ahead of him. Does use him. Harrington out wide on the left-hand side. Oh, Centurion's just not quite got hold of that, and it's picked up far too easily by the United defence. And away they come. Pogba with a searching ball through the centre. Diogo Dalot. And Willems doing very well. Safweek now on the right hand side, out to Wilson. Safweek. Arcas. Hernandez holding his man off. Ball through the middle for Centurion. Couldn't quite find him. He'll go again though. Just a little bit too close to the defender. Good defending. Not a good pass though. We're in trouble there. Van der Beek into Fernandez. Harrington gets it and finds Arcas with a lovely little ball slipped through Centurion. Willems, Busquets, Safweek now. Forest building nicely here. Into Busquets again. Didn't have anything ahead of him, so had to play it back. Ah, that's a poor ball. That's a very poor ball. Oh, and Bremer's committed himself there, and he's left us a little bit light at the back. And fortunately for us, Rashford has put that header wide. Do you know, I think 2 up front is going to stretch them slightly more. So we're going to go for the 2. Set these midfielders, sorry, to defensive. And Harrington can stay up top with Hernandez. I'm not going to change the personnel, just the lineup slightly. So Nubel restarts with a ball out wide left to Willems, and he miscontrols it, does the Dutchman. But he recovers himself and finds Centurion. Willems now. Centurion, Arcas. Back to Willems again. He's got it where he likes it. Looks to put one in, but it gets blocked by Dalot. It's going to be a throw into Forest though. Wilson went for the shot. It was very nicely plucked from his grasp by Pogba. But Forest have got the break here. Harrington! Oh, he's put it wide. Oh, what a chance for Harrington. The young English midfielder come striker had it put on a silver platter. Lovely pass with the outside of the right boot, and he should have gone for the near post. I don't know what he's doing putting it across the goalkeeper, and by him I mean me, because of course it is me that's choosing where the ball goes. But maybe a finesse finish would have been the right thing to look for there. Never mind, it's done now. And that's half time. Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. You can see immediately 2 up front is definitely helping us in fashioning a chance. United was slightly better of it in the first half, although possession has gone the way of Nottingham Forest. We'll see how we do in this second half. No changes made by the away side. And it looks as though the home side, similarly, have decided not to make any tactical changes. Ah, it's a shame. Looking to try and put it between 2 players. Couldn't quite manage it. Worrell's left his man and put us into a little bit of trouble here. And how have we escaped unscathed there? That is incredible football by Forest. In and around their own penalty area. Oh dear, that's not good though. Wilson's gotten away with that one. And United have gifted us the ball back when they really could have punished us. As Scott McTominay comes on for Donny van de Beek. Things not working out for the Dutchman today, so United have instead turned to the Youth Academy prospect. Well, I shouldn't even call him a prospect at this point. He's a product, isn't he? Fernandes, such a driving force for this United team. Bridger! Oh, it's Bridger on the turn. It's the goal that I hate. Absolutely detest conceding goals like that. They couldn't break us down any other way. So they've gone for the old copy-paste. And it's on me. I should know how to defend against it. But sometimes it feels as though you can't. He wasn't even really on the turn. He just had half a yard ahead of my defender and managed to get the shot away. And so we're 1-0 down. And just to add insult to injury, it's the last kick that Bridger will have in this match as he comes off for Anthony Martial. And now we have to deal with the pace of Martial as well as God knows what else from this United team. Here's Zafuik. Rashford. Plenty of pace in this United team already. But introducing Martial has added even more problems. And he's in behind here. And what a save by Nubel to keep it to 1-0. That ball was absolutely superb. Cut us apart. Do you know what? If they're going to do that to us, then we might as well go all out. It does mean conceding more room behind our back line. But we're more comfortable defending this way, and it does mean that we have more bodies. Oh dear, oh dear. How have we got away with that one? We'll have more bodies in advanced areas, which could be advantageous to us. Harrington. One over the top. Willem's looking for it. He's not going to get there. My man's been tackled by his own teammate. Good defending from Worrell. Feels like United are first to everything at the moment, even when my men are clearly on the ball well ahead of them. They're just seemingly able to get a foot in there at every call. Actually, I'm going to reverse that decision. There we go. Just looking at the amount of energy spent by players, and it made more sense to make that particular change. Right, here's Harrington. He's on his last legs, but he's going to chase this for everything he's worth. Unfortunately, he can't get anywhere near it. And here come Manchester United. Oh, I've still got deep defensive line engaged, haven't I? And that's a free kick if they don't get anything from this. Oh, what a ball to give away, and it's 2-0. Was that Hugma that gave that away? That's going to be embarrassing if it was. I'm not sure a change was made yet, actually. But the theatre of dreams has turned into the theatre of nightmares for Nottingham Forest. It's 2-0 to United. And although many wouldn't be surprised to see that result flash up on their screens, it is still very disappointing when you give away a goal like that, especially when the first one was as, well, it felt cheap. I wouldn't say it was cheap, but it certainly felt like a carbon copy of how many different goals that they've scored before. Oh my God, they're right in here as well. Rashford is straight ahead. Safwik with a great bit of defending. Arcas is completely non-responsive. The team's morale has taken a massive hit after that second goal, it seems. Here's Busquets. Plenty of room for Busquets here. He was offside. Massively offside. Dear oh dear. Henderson with the clearance. Bremer underneath it. Can he win the header? He can't. And Wilson tries to get to it. Arcas will. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Hugma. Wilson. How different it could have been if that first chance had gone in for... Oh, Hugma! Oh, he's hit the post! Oh! And Centurion's offside. Is it asking too much for you to stay on side, lad? Come on. I pay you enough money. But that's going to be the end of that. He's knackered. So we'll bring on Ploshek for him. And that's the last... No, it isn't the last change we can make, actually. So we'll throw... We'll throw Vallejo on, even though he's a left footer. He can play on the right-hand side. I mean, it's all for nothing at this point, even if we were to score direct from the goal kick. Which is unlikely since it's their goal kick, but we could perhaps have a chance. But yeah, how different it could have been if Harrington had put away that chance early on. Well, there we go. The final score is 2-0 to Manchester United. It's a day at the office that I would like to forget immediately, but against the quality of a team that is Manchester United, you can't really be disappointed with losing, even if we have made something of a habit of winning these games. Just very, very disappointed with the nature with which we conceded both goals. The first one, of course, from Bridger just before he came off was, I mean, we'll see it soon enough as we go through the replays. We see we had our chances during the match, but unfortunately we didn't make anything of them. As we just skip through all of these chances to try and get to... Now here is the chance for Harrington, which, if he puts this in... Oh, and he's got the goal at his mercy. And then Bridger straight up the other end almost. And it's just... It's too easy for him. A player of that quality, and we all know that Bridger is a very, very good player, especially a few years into this game. You can't give him any room at all. And playing that deep defensive line tactic means that players do get a little bit of time on the ball before you can get to them. And then this from Martial really started to expose the cracks, but it wasn't until a massive, massive mistake from Oriol Busquets, who gave the ball away right on the edge of his area to allow not Hernandez, but Bruno Fernandes. Here we are. I mean, just why did I turn into him? I was completely blind to his presence just outside the box, and there's nothing that Newball could do about that, unfortunately. So there we go. I thought Hugma did well coming on. Let me know what you guys thought about Hugma's performance when he came on. I thought he showed a couple of decent touches. He's got a good range of passing. I think defensive midfield could be his future in this team, and if that's the case, we're going to have to buy ourselves another defender. All in all, I'm not massively upset by the result. I would have preferred if we'd conceded a couple of world-class goals rather than the ones that we did. But, you know, I'm playing a broken record now. We had our opportunities. Again, if Harrington puts that away, and that's more down to my inability to take a chance and when I get a chance, especially at this level, I have so few of those clear-cut chances that I am guilty of panicking quite a lot, and as a result I do tend to snatch at chances when I have enough time to take it down and finish it. The problem is, as you guys will know from having played on Superstar difficulty at some point, the defenders at this level are so good at every level that if you take one touch too many, they'll whip the ball off of you quicker than the hungry man will take your subway from you. So really it's a balancing act. But there we go, 2-0 defeat today sees us slip down the table, I would imagine. No, we maintain our place in the table in 8th. We are now 10 points off of the European places, unfortunately, which pretty much that result puts an end to our chances of finishing in the top 6. If we'd won today, that would have put us 4 points behind Manchester United. But it wasn't to be, so there we go. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. When you come back next time, we will have not skipped anything at all. The next game is against Valencia in the Europa League at the Mestalla. I cannot promise anything. I really cannot. I think we may be crashing out of Europe now, but we'll do our best, as we always do. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.